Shai was my guy for doing the videos. These videos actually tell our buyers and sellers what we've done for other people, how we get them more money.
And that's what the Done For You video system does for it. We're using it everywhere that we can, whether it's in our Facebook advertising, whether it's on our website. We even use some of it in our listing presentations. And because it's so well done and explains everything in such great detail in a way that's more entertaining and more appealing, it gets us better interaction.
When you use Shai's Done For You products, you get professionally done videos without all of the hassle of having to figure out how to do a professional video yourself.
It's one of those things that adds credibility to everything that we do. It just solidified me doing the deal before I even got there in many cases.
I would highly recommend them. We use them, and like I said, we're going to do like $10.5 million in gross commission income this year. So if we need them, you for sure need them as well, and it will set yourself apart from the competition, and it will help you collect your fee.
I will say that Shai and his crew make you feel comfortable, make a video that's going to make a difference to your client base, whether you're recruiting or talking to buyers and sellers. We're using the messaging that we're learning here and putting it in a format that is professional. Is going to take you and elevate you to the next level of professionalism.
Our guarantee sale program, USP, has been introduced to thousands of people. It creates a good report. It increased our success rate, and you can see that in our numbers. I mean, its numbers have gone up dramatically.
We saw you on TV. That was exactly what he said. So it was a fantastic appointment. We just walked in and didn't have to compete for the listing.
You're basically pre-sold when you walk in the door. They're most of the time like, okay, we know you're the guy. In fact, they say you don't even have to go through the listing presentation. Let's just, where do I sign?
Before I actually walked into the seller's home, they had already received 2 different videos that I sent to them before the meeting started. And now they're comfortable with me. They've seen me. They know a lot about what I stand for and my value proposition to them.
It's very important, and it's very important to have it done properly and professionally. So that's why I always hire Shai.
The videos are incredible and very, they come across really well.
Our conversion has gone through the roof. We're right at about 90% right now. A game changer, and you have to have it because what it represents for us in a month of commissions is about $80,000, $90,000 what we notice in our business a month. It's a must.
You show up to the listing appointment, I guarantee you will getting that listing, and you're getting that listing with higher commission. It's a game changer.
I know that the time I invested here today is going to have a huge impact on my business, and I would recommend it to everybody.
Welcome everyone. I'm thrilled to have you here today for this incredible Done For You TV broadcast. I have a very special guest joining me today. You're going to get a lot out of watching and listening to him today, and if you have any questions, please type them into the chat. If you like this video, please consider sharing it with your friends. I've had the privilege of knowing and working with Coach Rick Brash for over 20 years. He's a true expert in the real estate world, both as a highly successful agent himself and as a top coach, helping real estate professionals from across North America achieve outstanding success. I've witnessed Rick transform the businesses and lives of many real estate agents by showing them how to attract the right clients with the right messages, build trust, and stay top of mind. Today, Rick Brash will share with us how he coaches his students to achieve this success through the power of video. Rick is going to share his expertise and show us examples of video strategies that are working right now for his students. Rick will break down exactly what they're doing and why it's so effective. You're going to get a lot out of this program. A lot of great nuggets are going to come out of today's interview, so let's dive in. Great day, everyone. It's Shai Schwartzman, your audio video coach, with another exciting broadcast on our Done For You TV channel. Today, I am so pleased to introduce a good friend of mine, one of the premier coaches, I would say, for real estate in North America, Rick Brash from Calgary, Alberta. Rick and I have known each other for, Rick, how long would you say?
Wow. At least 25 years, Shy, maybe more.
Rick and I met through the Craig Proctor system when he was just a young pup, and he was just getting started, getting started on his road to real estate success, of course. And I had the honor and pleasure of working with Rick for these past years on videos for his real estate business. And he coaches many students all around the country. And he's busy, and I was really excited when he agreed to get together with me and talk about video and how to implement video successfully into your real estate business. So, Rick, again, thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure.
Hey, Shy, my pleasure. Believe me, the privilege is mine here. You're somewhat of a legend in the video business yourself. I've watched your work both in real estate and in general consumer video for as long as I've known you, and I've always thought that you did a superb job at what you did. So this is a privilege for me too.
Thank you, Rick. As a coach, Rick, let's say someone watching today, they're interested in video. They're obviously they know that video is a tool that they need to add to their toolbox, and maybe they're doing a virtual tour. They're doing a video tour at the very least. Where do you start with someone like that?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's, I think, safe to say that's where most agents begin this journey using video. Is, they've taken a listing and they want to advertise this listing, and they want to be up to date with their marketing. So they bring the virtual tour idea to the table, and either they, with a video recorder, a high resolution camera on a cell phone or an actual camera, or they bring in a crew and they do the video on the listing. That is a great place to start. But I think what bears some mention here, Shai, is we've sort of got to back up a little bit, and we've got to understand what's the objective in doing video. What's the objective in adding that video component to what you do as a real estate agent? And I think that bears a little bit of conversation as well, because that's a conversation I have with people all the time. So the way I see it, the video component is very important. The vast majority of people, if you do some studies on this, the vast majority of people are visual in nature.
Right.
They can make a very comfortable, quick decision based on what they see and how they understand what they see. So if our marketing component as a realtor has no video in it, we're probably lacking that connection that's so important these days with the consumer. And these days, 2024, 2025, where we are now, we only have a very short window of time in that initial connection to make an impression on the prospect we want to work with. Text marketing has a place in our business, and if the message in the text isn't congruent with the target market, we lose them. But if we have a video component built in, then we can immediately create that connection with the prospect and begin the process of drawing them into the marketing piece, whatever it is. So the example we used earlier was the virtual tour of the property. Now, we don't necessarily do a visual on a property to sell it, although a lot of people think that that's why they're doing it. We do a visual on a property to attract more sellers. Okay? A seller wants to see that video component that's done really professionally because if they're thinking about selling, that's going to be contingent on them finding a really good agent. If the agent's doing a really good job with a video presentation of a listing, that's going to be appealing to other sellers up the road. So that needs to be one of the objectives in doing that virtual tour. The other objective, as I mentioned, is the connection. So once the connection is established using the media, the video component, now we have an audience that we can talk to. And let's face it, Shai, that the conversation is a key part of you and I taking a lead and doing business with it up the road. I think that connection is so much better when there's a video component there that allows them, the prospect, to see us, the realtor. So I think that's where it begins. The objective for doing video absolutely needs to be the connection with the prospect or the connection with the audience that we're hoping sees the video. I mean, that may sound basic. Well, of course, Rick, that's exactly what video is for. But sometimes we don't have that objective in mind when we create the video. We create the video to sell the house. And yeah, we need to sell houses to fund our business and generate revenue, but we also need that video component to sell us as a professional to other prospective clients. And these days, the example, I guess, Shai, is social media. We have a number of choices how we can present ourselves to the world using social media. And video right now is a huge component in how we do that. So, you know, it's a big conversation, but it's a very important decision we have to make as a realtor, because if we're not doing video, if we don't have a video component built in to the public marketing that we do, I think we're behind the times.
Let's wrap it around lead generation right now. What are some messages that people are adding to videos that you recommend?
The first thing I think that we have to add in to a property video is information about the agent who's doing it. The agent who's responsible for this video absolutely needs to be in the video. Now, I'm not saying that agent needs to wander around with the camera and show the bedroom and the bathrooms and the dining room and the finished basement. I'm not saying that. But I think there needs to be a powerful introduction at the start of this property video that outlines a couple of key reasons that these sellers decided to work with this particular agent. Now, maybe this agent has a very strong USP. Maybe this agent has a trade-up program. Maybe this agent has just a stellar stat package when you stack his stats against the average stats on the board. Those things all they all move forward when it comes to choosing an agent. Most agents work really hard. Most agents are capable, but that's not the language that the prospective lead needs to hear. So let's not be a realtor for a minute. Let's not even be a marketer or a coach. Let's be a seller. Let's be a seller watching the video or looking at the marketing that a real estate agent does. As a seller, what are a couple of key things that you would be interested in knowing about if selling your home is an imminent project? Well, I would want to know, does this agent get full price on his listings? Does this agent actually bring in more money than the typical agent when he sells a home? Hey, does this agent have a track record of getting homes sold?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's all the board statistics that we can look at. A seller who's thinking of selling, their reticular activator is on in their brain. They're picking up all this data in their day-to-day process, looking to understand the local market. One of the key considerations a seller looks at is money. How much can a real estate agent get for my house? So we come back to putting the agent hat back on, and knowing that, do we put statistics like that at the outset of our video? Do we close the video off with a strong call to action to get more information, not only on the house in question, but on the track record or the unique selling proposition that this agent has highlighted in the video? And that's the language that prospective customers pick up on. So that has to be incorporated in if we want this video component to actually create more opportunity for us moving up the road. And that's the reason we do video. That's the reason we put together this comprehensive video on this property. It's sure to highlight the property and keep our sellers happy because that's what they want. But there's a component in that video that highlights what we do that sets us apart. That's really good for prospective clients up the road. And that's got to be built in as well.
What about testimonials?
Oh, without question.
How would you recommend testimonial videos, and how would you
absolutely absolutely I work with a ton of agents across North America, and one of the things I totally recommend is a testimonial from a happy customer in a number of different ways. In the instance of our conversation today, I think it's really important to show up at closing. You know, you're going to meet your customer at closing, whether it's a buyer or a seller, and you're going to take a video of them closing on the purchase or leaving the home for the last time with a big smile on their face. And we're going to get them to say a few nice things about us, things that matter. Not that, you know, Rick has a great car and Rick has a great suit, and no, that stuff doesn't matter. We want them to talk about things that matter in the process. You know, we were listed with another agent and we couldn't get the job done. Rick stepped up, or Frank stepped up, or Mary stepped up. And because of their marketing, because of all the things they do, not only did we sell fast, we sold for more money than we thought was possible. That's the type of testimonial that we want. And if we can get that on video, Shy, and we can use that in our marketing, and we can use that in our pre-listing package, that's the video component that creates that connection with the prospect. And that's what we want to do on a regular basis. So agents who are watching this, hopefully you have an action plan that you follow for a closing. Let's make sure that getting a video-driven testimonial is part of your closing action plan.
What other videos would you recommend? So we talked about the video tour where we're showing the house, but we're also giving information about our services, how we sell homes, our statistics. Would you do neighborhood videos, for example? How about videos on the local coffee shop, on the neighborhood, the parks, the schools? Would you go there as well?
So I call that reciprocal video, and I think it's really important. You know, hardworking real estate agents, they really want to be seen as a part of the local community. So, you know, we're really happy when we can get a third-party testimonial on us and our skill set and our track record and our success. So I think we've got to be willing to reciprocate and do that for other businesses in our community. Hey, another video, Shy, that I have been a real proponent of is that I think a lot of agents do some type of a market update on a monthly basis. So, you know, statistics these days are fairly readily available to every agent on every organized board. Every board in North America, I think, summarizes the past month's sales activity, and they release a stat package essentially to all their members and the media locally, you know, a couple of days into the new month. Well, can you take those stats? Can you take the ebbs and flows of the market and the trends, and can you build a video that, number one, does present the statistics in such a way that it's interesting? And secondly, can you offer some advice to a customer, a prospective customer, based on what the stats are telling us about the current market? There's a guy that I work with out here in my marketplace, and he does an absolute stellar job on a monthly market update video. And when you sit down and talk to him about that, I did this last month, we talked about his video, and he said he spends a lot of time building it. He doesn't just sit down, you know, throw the camera up and start talking. He sits down with an outline. He gets the stats that are sensible for the theme of this month's video. He goes to work and he prepares about a 15-minute video, which on the surface sounds a bit long, but when you watch and listen and consider the content, it's a perfect length for the video. And he'll tell you that because he winds in so many offers and so much understanding for a person who's thinking of buying or selling, that his video is good for a couple of listings every single month. So that market update video alone is practically done for you. You've got your stat package from the board. You've got a clear understanding of how your market's moving, ebbing, and flowing. You've got the ability to talk about how that stat package is affecting the market, or how it's a reflection of what's affecting the market. You can talk about those external forces of the market, and then you can give some really solid advice on how to move forward with a good strategy based on what's happening. And like I say, his name's Rob, and he does a really good job with that. And he says it's good for a couple, 3 listings every single month. So that's a video I think every agent should be working on for sure.
All right, well, why don't we line that up, and let's take a look at a little bit of Rob's video.
Let's get right into it, and I can start showing you some charts. All right, let's kick it off with the CREB forecast that took place just towards the end of January with Anne-Marie Laurie, our chief economist. Here's the big heading right here. Calgary's housing market is expected to stay strong in 2025, with sales forecasted 20% above long-term trends. So if you look at this chart right here, and I'll just make it just a little bigger, you can see that this goes all the way back to 2006. And you can see in 2006 is where we got a little around 27,000 sales. And, you know, we never, ever hit that again until 2021. And we've been enjoying in Calgary some pretty high sales from 21, you know, all the way to last year in 2024. And you can see the expectation is we're going to be very, very similar to 2024, which means we're going to be sitting somewhere probably around 27,000 sales on the MLS. Now, that's great for us as far as sales volumes go. But of course, the big question a lot of people have is, well, what about the pricing? Are we going to see some price growths? Or are we going to see some price softening? And I'll get into that in just a moment.
So now, Rick, let's take a look at another one of your students, Tony. He's from Las Vegas. And you tell me that he does a video a day. Tell me more about that.
At least a video a day. And he does a subject. He takes a subject and he builds a video and an offer around it every single day. Now, he's in a good position. He's got a gal in his office, Leslie, who is just really good at editing. So she can take the footage that Tony drops, that Tony creates, and she can turn it into a video in a fairly quick amount of time. Now, not all of Tony's videos are in English, so sometimes I see a video that's really well done. I have no idea what he's saying
because he does it in Spanish, but he's in I guess a high level of Spanish speakers in his marketplace.
Yeah, well, so Tony's target market is the Spanish customer in Las Vegas, but he does a ton of stuff in English as well. But the point I want to make is he's relevant to the target market. And the reason, he's created a large group of followers, and every single day he introduces a video to that group that's relevant to what's going on in his market. And at the end, he always has an offer, a reason to call him and take advantage of an offer, ask him a question, take it for a feature sheet on a listing, whatever his offer is, there's always an offer and a call to action in the video. And so, yeah, we can maybe play a couple of Tony's videos, Shai, and we'll see some examples of that.
Okay, let's do that now.
Today, we are here with this amazing guy. You know, I'm super happy. I'm excited that, you know, we finally made it happen. So, congratulations. So, Alex, how do you feel right now? You know, you finally made that happen.
I'm excited, finally being able to call the place my home. Everyone else, I was on the fence a lot, worried about, oh, is this the right time to buy a house? Is this the wrong time? And there's never really a right or wrong time. It's more of when you're ready to get a house. We're here to help the family, help the community. So yes, I do recommend you guys to the people, you know, help them out and they'll be happy with their purchase.
Reach me at 702-577-4848. Start packing.
Lights, camera, action, ready, set, go.
Just want to let you know that our Homeware Bound for February 2025 is ready for you. Yes, in the Homeware Bound, we have incredible news for you. Also, remember, we are supporting a non-profit cause here in Las Vegas. Yes, a local entity, First Choice Pregnancy Services. Yes. So remember, if you know anyone that is looking to buy or sell a property in 2025, as you can see, if you refer them to us, they're not only going to have 5-star service, but you are going to contribute to that worthy cause, right? So once again, should you have any questions, 702-577-4848. And thank you so much, and I'll see you next month.
So that's Lead Gen 101. If we can make a compelling offer in a video and make it really easy for the prospect to take advantage of the offer, then we're on the road to creating opportunity in our business. And a number of people that I work with have become really good at doing that. And that's really that's that essence, Shai. That's that essence you talked about earlier of turning video into a lead generation machine, which, you know, when you really think about it for real estate agents, that's a crucial decision. Without creating opportunity on a daily basis, we find ourselves struggling to make a living. But this video component that you and I are talking about today, that can fix all those problems if you do it right. And these are some examples of guys that are doing it right using video that we're talking about.
Let's look at one more example. One of your students, Sergey, he's in your marketplace.
Yeah.
Sergey, tell me a little bit about the videos he does. And you say that actually YouTube sends him money because of the number of viewers and subscribers that he has.
Well, a number of years ago, we were having this chat on one of our weekly coaching sessions, and I've been encouraging him a little bit to take on this idea of video. But like most people at the outset, he was just a little bit nervous of doing it. It's a little bit, essentially, it's out of the comfort zone when we first start. Most of us don't have a face for video. We have a face for radio, et cetera, et cetera. Sergey, English is not his first language. But I persevered with him, and I said, look, man, you got to do this. Build yourself a YouTube channel, make it private for now, and just start putting some videos in there. You watch them yourself, and you'll get comfortable with the process. We worked on scripts, we worked on ideas, we worked on content. Well, he became very comfortable making videos. And, his library on YouTube now is hundreds and hundreds of videos strong. And yeah, he got a really nice email from YouTube a couple of years ago stating that his videos had been accepted very well by the algorithm, and he was getting paid a little bit for the content that he was providing YouTube. So, and all of his videos follow a format. It's generally a listing video. He makes an offer at the end to see the property, to get a feature sheet, to get more information, and then he makes it really easy for the people watching to take advantage of those offers. So again, there's a format there that you're going to see is consistent in all the videos that we do with these people that I work with, and it's based on a lead generation format, and because that's what we want to do. Marketing carries a responsibility, Shai. Marketing is expensive. Marketing, if we're not careful, can really sink the ship financially. So marketing absolutely has to generate opportunity. That's the first and foremost reason we run marketing, to create leads, to create opportunity. Right. And all these guys that I'm working with have embraced that, and they're all generating leads because of the videos that they're doing.
Let's take a look at some of Sergey's videos here, and we'll come back right after this.
Hi, Sergey Karasensky here, and welcome to our new listing, 353 Kingsbury View Southeast Airdrie. This home is located in beautiful community of King Heights. Airdrie has quickly become Calgary's best alternative for families looking for the amenities of the big city with the feel of a small town. This is especially true in Keene Heights, where you have access to parks, ponds, and the atmosphere, while also having the convenience of Kingsview Market Shopping Center only steps away. The natural scenery is centered by all the essential amenities. The city of Airdrie is home to a recreational complex and mixture of schools options, including 2 schools, sits right in Kings Heights. With reduced traffic and quick access to Highway 2 and Yankee Valley Boulevard, all that Calgary has to offer is within reach. Everything you need has been built right into your community with the addition of Kingsview Market. Long drives and long lines to get the essential aren't necessary with major tenants like Tim Hortons, Shoppers Drug Mart, ESSA and RBC. Small town appeal but big house feel is provided by this lovely 2-story, 2,182 square feet, 4 bedrooms and 3.5 bathroom home in the beautiful community of Kings Heights. Insulated double-attached west-facing garage and wide driveway covers all parking needs. Glossy plank hardwood flooring, natural colors and a lot of lights from a lot of windows can be viewed from a roomy welcoming foyer and give the open concept main level a spacious feel. Large living room with the comfort of a corner gas fireplace provides numerous possibilities for furniture arrangement. The adjacent kitchen has rich dark cabinetry, lots of countertop space for meal preparation, stainless steel appliances, an island with a double undermount sink and a handy walk-through pantry. The well-lit dining area has a fabulous view of a backyard and inviting piece to enjoy family meals. A mudroom and 2-piece bathroom accessible from the garage, finishing the main level. The second level is carpeted and the light and bright theme is repeated here. The huge master bedroom features a 4-piece with a double sink bathroom and walk-in closet. 2 additional generously sized bedrooms share a 5-piece bathroom and a double sink. A bonus room with a vaulted ceiling could be put to many uses like a home office, media or family room. A laundry room and storage closet complete this level. The basement is finished, carpeted and well planned with utility and storage area but also large rec room with a gas stove and additional bedroom with 3-piece ensuite. Central air conditioning is additional bonus. The delightful east-facing backyard is fenced with a large deck and pergola, ideal for summer entertaining. Nearby Highway 2 provides access to the city of Calgary, Cross Iron Mills and the Calgary International Airport. Yankee Valley Boulevard admits you to the shopping and restaurants. Very close to schools, elementary, French, Footprints of Learning Academy, baseball diamonds, playgrounds and daycare. This is an ideal family home that has been carefully looked after. And remember, we will take your home on trade when you will buy this beautiful Kings Heights home. Please call me today at 587-316-3600 to find out about our exclusive trade-up programs. Or visit our website at www.guaranteedsale.info. Please don't hesitate to call or text 587-316-3600 and start packing.
How would you recommend, if I was your student, to get started? What do you want me to do first?
Well, the first thing to do, believe it or not, Shai, is not video. Now, this may sound a little controversial in light of the fact our podcast is about video. First thing we need is a realtor to do, who's never done this before, is think really hard about who their target market is going to be. Now, a lot of people who are just starting out in the business don't know what that means. They don't have enough depth of the marketplace to make a decision about who the best target market is. Most realtors just starting out, Shai, will take anything they can get from anywhere. Right. And that's fine. That's fairly common. We're fresh in the business. Our eyes are wide. We're hungry. We're ready to go to work. We're looking to gain experience. But there comes a point in time when we've got to stop all that hunting and pecking, which has a fairly low response rate. We've got to get a clear understanding of who in the marketplace we would be most comfortable with in working. Okay, now.
So Rick, sorry to interrupt you, but okay, so how do I do that?
Well, first off, you're getting a little bit of experience doing some work. You're probably hanging out with a few other realtors in your office who've got something going on. You've probably got an understanding about how your market moves and flows a little bit because you're attending meetings at the office and you're doing some training. There's going to come a point in your career fairly early when you realize, hey, I like working on that market category. I really enjoy the first-time home buyer. I really have a thing for working with investors. I understand what they're up against. Man, I really like working in new developments, or I really enjoy new construction. There's a dozen or more very active categories in every real estate agent's market. Now, once they've made that decision, Chai, once they've decided that they want to work with a particular category a little more often than they are now, they have to go on a mission to learn a little bit about that category. What makes it tick? What makes it ebb and flow? What are the peaks and valleys in that category of the market? Then they have to understand the consumers themselves who are participating in that market. Hey, what's really important to a first-time home buyer? If I want to buy a bigger, better house, what do I need to do in order to make that process seamless? So once we get a clear understanding of that, now we begin this process of talking to that market category by means of our marketing. Okay, so example, we run an ad and it offers a list of homes in the marketplace in a lower price register. Now, why are we doing that? Because we quickly understand that where we are, that's what the first-time home buyer is capable of buying. So that ad alone, with a couple of key sentences and a couple of key headlines that we could choose from, will attract the first-time home buyer. That's just the nature of the game, and that makes sense. Now, what if in conjunction with some print marketing that we're running, what if instead of the consumer reading the ad came up? Let's say we're using Facebook as the advertising platform. What if the ad floated by the prospect today and it was a video of the agent talking about somebody buying their first home? Okay, the first-time buyer is going to stop the scroll and they're going to watch that video and they're going to listen fairly intently because there's a nugget or two in that video that this first-time home buyer can probably grab. And then what if at the end of that video or some point in that video, something's flashed on the screen that says, that's making an offer, an offer of a list of lower priced vacant homes in case you need a quick closing. The offer of a report that outlines the best way to set up the first mortgage you're ever going to have, et cetera, et cetera. And then I say, in order to take advantage of this, in order to get the report, in order to get the list, I have a very non-threatening set of instructions. Call or text me at this number, and we'll have this in your inbox by the end of the day. Wow. All of a sudden now, we're playing with the big boys, the big producers in the marketplace, and we're creating an ad that's very compelling to the prospect. So the byproduct of that, when our ad and message in the video is a solution to the prospect's problem, the target market's problem, the byproduct is we get a lead. And the lead comes to us in the form of, hey man, I'd like that list. Hey man, I'd love that report on how to set up my mortgage. Hey, I really like what you're offering in your ad. How do I get it? Call the number or text the number. We'll have it in your inbox by the end of the day. So now we've got some really interesting things going on with our marketing. And as a side note, if that's an ad that we're running on Facebook, because the prospect watched that video of ours in the ad, behind the scenes, we can flip on a system at Facebook called retargeting. And now on a bi-daily basis, if I've got content in Facebook, I can now send my content to that person who watched it on Facebook using a method called retargeting or remarketing. Not new, but most people don't know how that works and they don't use it. And all this happens, Shai, because we had a clear understanding of what's important to our target market. We put it in a script, we made a very compelling offer, and we made it easy for the prospect, the buyer in this case, to take advantage of that offer. So if we can build those components into our marketing along with into our video, we are well on our way to becoming an expert lead generator on a daily basis. So that's really what we're trying to get agents to do, is generate leads every single day.
Now, so just to sum up our lead generation. So looking for a target market, who do we want to work with? First-time buyers, move-up buyers, excuse me, empty nesters, what have you, divorce, what have you. So we find our target market and we create compelling messages in our videos that talk to them.
Right.
So, they have a problem, whatever their problem is. They're getting divorced. They have a home to sell.
Yep.
We're providing a solution to that problem.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
we make them an offer, and then the call to action.
Right. And the call to action should be as non-threatening as possible. Something we've got to remember sometimes, the typical prospect from our target market is not always realtor hunting. Now that's not to say realtors can't help them, but there is a stage. A lot of times prospects we meet are information hunting. They're looking for a solution to their problem without getting a real estate involved. Now, if we say at the end of our video, call me, we may or may not get a call. But if we say, text me, and I'll have this in your inbox by the end of the day, no questions asked, I think we're going to get way more requests for whatever we're offering than if we set ourselves up as the gatekeeper. There's a time and place for everything in the conversion process.
Right.
I want to get the lead first and begin the branding of me second if I can do that. Now, I'm in the video for sure. People are going to see me. But if I make taking advantage of my offer non-threatening, I'm going to get way more leads. And that's what we're always trying to do.
Now, Rick, we're using video for leads, but we're also using video for follow-up. So can you talk to me about that? What's the benefit of using video once someone's generated the lead, using video to build trust and rapport? Can you talk to me more about that and your experience?
Sure. Well, I think, so again, one of the things that people are looking for is a resource that they're comfortable going back and forth to. And that's not necessarily real estate related. It's any consumer issue related. You're thinking of painting your home and you go online to look for reputable painters. You're thinking of buying a car and you go looking for a reputable car dealer to buy from wherever you are. So in our business, we've got to make a special effort to come across as reputable, as intelligent, as smart, as knowing, having the knowledge about the local market that people can benefit by. So, we've got a lead. We haven't met with them yet. We've had a little bit of a struggle getting them on the phone because it's 2025 and people don't answer phones like they used to. But we've got a cell phone number, we've got an email, and maybe we've successfully dragged them onto a page on Facebook. So what prevents us from giving them a bi-weekly or a weekly video that, again, highlights our knowledge and our skill set with respects to the local market? Maybe they're a buyer. Maybe they are not clear on how interest rates are affecting their purchase power. So we've got content. We've got a video recorded somewhere that talks about interest rates and how that affects buying power. And at some point in that follow-up schedule, because they were a buyer lead, we introduced that video to them by means of a link in a text, by means of an email, by means of a post on a Facebook page, by means of retargeting. Once we have an opportunity to begin working and nurturing the lead along to the point of an appointment, got all this video content that we can use to help us do that. Very, very important. And Shai, I can attest to a system that you built years ago, that video a week program, 52 relevant videos that a person can use in their follow-up process.
Yeah,
And,
it's actually it's 75 now. It's
oh,
grown.
well,
The library has
I
grown.
subscribed when it was 52, and I've used that thing for years. Why?
Yeah,
Because it's relevant.
That's our
It's very, very good.
our animated explainer. So these are videos. These are done for you videos that they're animated.
Yeah.
They're branded to the agent, and they can use them all across social media, follow up, YouTube, what have you. And it follows your formula that you teach your students of reaching out to a target market with calling out to something that they're thinking of, that's something in their reticular activator that they're thinking of. They want to sell their home. They want to downsize. They want to upsize. They want to stop renting, whatever.
Yeah.
And it gets them, it piques their interest.
Right.
And so it's a done for you. So we've created these videos that you can add to your contact management system, to your social media, anything really online.
Yeah, and people are going to think this is a commercial for your video. I guess it kind of is, but what I like about it, Shai, is if I'm the subscriber, you brand those to me.
Right.
So I'm the one sending the video. The prospect is seeing me as the one that's originating that video with them. So I got to say, Shai, it paints me in a really good light, in the mind's eye of that prospect. So I guess the reality of what you're doing is a great place to start. So if we had a collection of videos like the ones you've done, where we're getting started, and for some it's building up the courage to make our own videos, because again, it's not a familiar medium for a lot of people, maybe a little bit older, but they're getting the courage up. They're getting a series of videos recorded and stuck in their YouTube channel that they can now link to. All of a sudden, our business has gone to the next level because we've incorporated this video component that is so strong in marketing today. And there was a report released about Facebook a little over a year ago. You and I have talked about this before, and just thinking along the lines of social media, which is such a prominent platform in modern society. But there was a study done that said, what keeps eyeballs on posts and ads using social media? And the study basically said that video in posts and ads retains, for lack of a better term, it retains eyeballs faster than just text. So here's the social media platform telling us that the best thing you can do in your marketing activities, in your marketing efforts, is include video, because it keeps people engaged on the post of the ad much longer. So if we're trying to be up to date and modern and with the times, and we're using social media in our day-to-day marketing activities, social media is telling us you've got to add video. If you want to retain eyeballs on your content, you've got to get video in there to do that. So that alone should be enough for us to reconsider not using video because of its importance.
What about before the listing appointment? I know that one of the things we've talked about when we meet at conferences, you talk about pre-selling the prospect, seller or buyer, depending on who you're meeting with, before the appointment. So you book the appointment, you're sending them out a video that prepares them for the appointment, which is another way to use video. And what's the benefit of that? And give us some tips on that.
Well, that's a great thing. This is a really important consideration for a real estate agent. So you've successfully booked a listing appointment for Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Today is Thursday. You just booked the appointment for Saturday. Now, the last thing we want agents to be is naive. Okay? So The prospect knows your name. They know the company you work for locally. What do we think that prospect is doing now, between now and Saturday morning? They are Googling you like crazy. They are checking you out. They are looking you up. They are looking on your website. They're checking out your social media. If you have a Google profile, they are really checking out that stuff. Make sure that you are the agent that they need. What are they seeing? That becomes a really important business question. What is a prospect seeing about me that indicates I'm up to speed with what's going on in the local marketplace? That my skill set and my marketing is completely where it should be to get them sold for top dollar. That prospect absolutely needs to see your videos. They need to see what you do with a listing. They need to understand your unique selling proposition. They need to go to your Google profile and see all the things that you're posting there, which are relevant to you being a really good real estate agent. There's probably a couple of videos that you have in your library on YouTube that you can link into a text or link into an email and send over as part of your pre-listing package. Maybe you send a pre-listing package over the day before in a box or in an envelope. What prevents you from putting a couple of your videos on a thumb drive that have done really well for you and including those in your pre-listing package? The answer, nothing. But we've got to have a series of videos that prospect can find that really show them that you know your stuff. You know, Shai, you have a really great product for this. Again, it sounds like a commercial, but you have a product for this called the Ultimate Converter. And essentially what it is we send someone to a desktop online, and that desktop is a collection of things about the agent that will really make working with that agent irresistible. And you know me, Shai, I've been a big proponent of that Ultimate Converter for many, many years. A big part of that is the video that you help agents produce when they get that subscription from you. And that video, again, and I've used this video for years and years in my pre-listing package, that video really paints the agent in a strong and powerful light when compared and stacked against the marketplace. And again, it's video. It's video that creates that eyeball to eyeball connection with the prospect who's watching. And it's like, people can argue all day long now about this. I don't want to do that. I've never done that. I've done okay. I do great referrals. Sure. I'm not saying that you can't do well without video, but why not make the process so much easier because you're using this video component in everything you do that creates that immediate connection with the prospect. So
it's the power.
Gotta have.
It's the power of television. It's like today the phone, any device. When you watch a video, it's like you're watching it on TV.
Yeah.
That power of seen on TV, if you will.
Yep.
Translates through your videos. So it's like your videos are a multiplier of you.
Absolutely.
So when you're shaking hands with a person you're meeting, face to face, before that, it's like they've met you. It's like they've met you prior. So with agents who are using videos, especially videos when through that process of lead generation and follow up, when they actually get to the door or get to the kitchen table, it's like they've met before.
Yeah.
The video is that virtual handshake that they had before they actually even met. So you're not coming in cold. You've built that trust. You've built that rapport. They know so much about you. They know that you're an expert in the marketplace because you've done videos on market stats. They know you're an expert in the neighborhood because you've done videos on the neighborhood and the parks and the schools and what have you. Today, it's a video that you can have on your business card that's just with that they can access with a QR code.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, a postcard, a feature sheet, a flyer, a business card.
So even if
whatever,
when you're doing print, just listed postcards or other postcards, you can take them from offline, which is the print, to online with the QR code. So even though you've given them a postcard or a print, newsletter, what have you, you can still connect with them, but with video, just with that QR code. So the technology has changed, but the benefits of using video, I mean, has remained. You have more opportunity to get that video in front of people today.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I like what you say. The media channels and the things we use to introduce the video have changed over the years, but the actual video itself still remains a very powerful component in what we do. So we really do have to introduce video into what we do as realtors today. You know, it's a stage. We've got to be able to put on as good a show as our competition. Our competition is absolutely using video in their efforts. So knowing what we know and understanding how to make a message even more compelling and more irresistible, video is the natural media choice for us to use. So I really think it's important that we incorporate that into everything that we do.
Rick, as we start to wrap up, and I want to thank you again for your time joining me today. Once you have a customer, it kind of ties back to what we just did. You've listed their house or you've signed a buyer contract with them. It ties back to what we talked about earlier, is once that you've closed the deal with them, you want to get a testimonial. So it kind of all wraps back around to the beginning, where we have a happy client and now we're going to get a testimonial that we're going to use to go back to the beginning of our lead generation.
Yeah. Well, look here, I think there's a couple of opportunities for testimonials in that scenario. So I've created a lead. From the lead, I've created a face-to-face appointment. I've gone over to do my appointment, and I've presented a very compelling reason for this seller to hire me to get their home sold. So they're happy with what I do. They're happy with what I've said and what I've promised. Why not get a testimonial right there? They're in a very happy, positive frame of mind. So there's an opportunity for a testimonial on why they decided to hire me. Now we go through that process of getting their home sold, and it ends up being a great sale. And I get the thing sold in, 25 or 30 days, half the market average time. I get them sold for almost full price, or just a little bit more than full price of their listing contract. And again, they're really happy. So why not when we firm up that deal, why not get a testimonial in video form there that says, not only does Rick talk a big game, he performs a big game. I'm not saying say that, but you get my point.
Right.
And great. So now I've got another video testimonial that shows me signing on the dotted line to firm up their deal. Then closing comes. Another 30 days up the road, we have closing, and they're really happy. And I take over that great big sold sign, and I get another testimonial from them as they're leaving for the last time. So, hey, there's lots of opportunities in there to get leads, just because we've listed a property, for sure.
And now that they're in your database, and they're on your social media feeds. Now, even after you've sold them the home, they're going to see your videos.
Right.
They're going to see your market update videos, and these are great. Now you stay top of mind with them. One, for referrals, and two, if they want to do another deal.
Yeah. So we certainly have to understand the lifetime value of a happy client. Right. The lifetime value of a happy client. It's not just their sale. Now, look, sometimes people sell and leave the country. That's fine. I mean, we're very good at helping them leave with as much money as possible. But there's a big majority of our customer base that sells for some reason, but then finds themselves a little further up the road back in a position to buy. I mean, who better to work with than than you again. And how do we do that? By this consistent level of great service. And like you said too, Shai, hopefully we've got a system built into our business where we're programming happy clients for referrals. And a referral, simply put, is where that happy client endorses us to somebody else, a friend, a work colleague, a relative, a neighbor, whatever. They say really good things about us to somebody else, and that somebody else reaches out to us and says, hey, you know, you don't know us, Rick, but you sold Hugo and Mary's house about 6 months ago, and man, they've done nothing but talk about you. So we need to sell, and we wanted to have a chat with you about the process. That's the best referral there is. And again, if that original person who I sold, if they created that, I better do something special for them. There's a whole bunch of things we can do in there to nurture that along. But video, again, big component. A big component of that, Shai, of course, is what they're going to see us doing on social media. Because now they are attached to me on social media.
Exactly.
And this regular, consistent diet of relevant information that's video driven on social media, all it does is enhance the good feelings they have about working with us again.
And you're always on. It's like the videos are working 24/7,
right?
Being fed through social media,
yeah, and
what have you.
Let's face it, we live in the age of the scroll. So somebody comes on my page for the first time, what are they going to do? They're going to scroll all the way through my page to see what kind of a person I am. I have a Facebook page that I use for the members that I coach. And I know new members come on and they scroll through that whole page. It's 6 or 7 years of information on that page that they scroll through. And all of a sudden, you know, somebody who's brand new with me is liking a video that was put on there 2 years ago. So we live in the age of the scroll. And like you say, video lives on forever. The message will live on forever. The relevancy will live on forever. So video enables that to happen.
Rick, wow, I'm just blown away by all this awesome information. The experience you've had as a successful real estate agent for over 20 years, 25 years, and of course, the coaching that you do of your students from all over the country, all over North America. So you see what's working in what marketplaces. You see the types of videos that are being used. Let me one more question. I just so because I love what you're sharing with us today. Do you see a difference? Because sometimes you get that question or that comment. You know what? That may work in such and such marketplace, but people don't watch videos in my marketplace, or it's not really going to work. It's an older crowd. I know there's always 1,000,001 excuses of why it won't work in marketplaces.
Yeah.
And you coach agents from all across the country,
all around the world. I've coached agents in 11 countries around the world. So yeah, I've heard that a lot.
Right. And what's your answer to that?
My answer to that is video is now used in every medium, everywhere. So the problem you're having with video is not a market-related problem. It's a personal-related problem, because video is prominent in every market, everywhere now. Let me use an example. I'll give you a great example. A couple of years ago, I was asked to work with a fellow who is a real estate specialist in Portugal. Now, for people watching this, Shai, they probably don't understand how real estate works in Europe, but there's no MLS over there, and there is no buyer representation in Portugal. And I had to go through a little bit of a learning phase to understand how things ebb and flow and cook and boil in real estate over there. But the bottom line is, real estate over there is done by wearing out shoe leather, knocking on doors and all that old style stuff. But Facebook is very, very prevalent. And this fellow that I started to work with had a goal. And he wanted to go from being a brand new agent in his office. If I recall, it was about 120 they're not called real estate agents, they're called estate agents in his office. He wanted to be in the top 1%, top 10%. He wanted to be one guy in the top 10%. So we went to work and we introduced a number of marketing campaigns for him that, after he explained to me the way the market works there, made sense for the market. And then we introduced him doing video. And yeah, there was some hesitancy there because it was not done by estate agents the way it's done here in North America. And so instead of me letting him say to me, well, Rick, it's not going to work here, they don't do that, I took the stand, well, what a great opportunity for you. What an awesome opportunity for you to be completely different and grow your business because you're doing something that not everybody else is doing. Well, it took a year and a half, but he went from being a fairly brand new agent with not much experience to being the number one agent in his office. And he'll tell you it's because he learned how to generate leads. And a big part of what he did in a market that didn't really recognize the estate agent that much,
right?
He became a go-to guy in his city in Portugal. So come to us and say that it doesn't work here. That may work where you are. That may work in the big city, but that's not going to work here. Just let that person come to me and I'm going to show you how it will work. It'll absolutely work. And you know this too, Shai. You're an absolute video expert. You know that video has permeated every conceivable market around the globe. You've done videos for customers in your business around the world. So we already know that video is a component that will work essentially anywhere. That the task we have is getting people to have the courage to start doing it. And that's sometimes where they're hesitant. But once they do, and they get good at it and they grab on, fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and certainly here at Audio Video Coach, we're here to help. So
yeah,
we provide lots of great information, programs. We work with agents all across the country, developing videos, providing done-for-you content, so they can always,
Well, I can attest to that because Shai, I have sat with you in cities all over North America in front of a green screen, and you and I have laid down over the years a lot of video for all kinds of different things that we're involved in. So I can attest that you know your craft, that you do a fantastic editing job, and that you are a great guide, a great mentor for people that want to do video. So, and I've seen lots and lots of your work, and it is first class for sure.
Well, thank you, Rick. And on that high note, before we get into trouble, we'll thank you very much for your time today, for sharing with us, to sharing with us the information on this podcast today, as a guide from lead generation all the way to client fulfillment, how we can use video effectively, and the examples that we've shown. Now, Rick, if anyone is you're in Calgary. Yep. If anyone is interested in buying or selling, or someone in Calgary buying or selling, is it okay do you want to give your information out? They can contact you?
Yeah, absolutely. My office number, 403-249-8444. And my email is Rick at rickbrash.com. And, questions about the selling process, questions about video. If you have some questions about taking your real estate business to the next level, I'm well connected in that regard and can get you pointed in the right direction with the right people. So don't be a stranger. Reach out to me for sure, and let's have a chat.
So thank you very much, Rick, for joining me today. Thanks for sharing, and we'll talk to you soon. Wow, what an incredible session. A huge thank you to Rick Brash for sharing his invaluable insights and strategies with us today. His expertise in using video for lead generation, follow-up, retention, and referrals is truly a powerful tool for real estate agents like you looking to stand out and grow their business. If today's conversation has given you new ideas and inspiration, be sure to visit audiovideocoach.com. There you'll find practical tips, strategies, and real-world examples of how to implement video in your real estate business. You'll also discover how we can help you shape your video content, craft your stories creatively, and package them in ways that are both effective and engaging. Plus, if you're looking for customized done-for-you content, we offer services to make video marketing simple and impactful for you. So don't wait. Head over to audiovideocoach.com and start leveraging video to grow your business today. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on new content as it becomes available. If you found this video valuable, share it with your fellow real estate professionals and drop a comment below with your biggest takeaways. Your engagement helps us expand our reach and continue bringing you the best video marketing strategies. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next video.